Hello students. So today we are going to do the topic nutrition in animals from the chapter life process. Well, nutrition in animal. Let's begin with nutrition in amoeba. It is a holozoic nutrition. We are taking the solid component, you are digesting them into the simpler component. Amoeba is a unicellular organism and it is a eukaryotes. Its nucleus is well developed. So, what are the different steps of the digestions in holozoic nutrition? Let's understand. Number one is ingestion. In ingestion, the food is ingested. Okay, here the ingestion is taking place with the help of pseudopodia. Pseudopodia are finger-like projections or the irregular projections formed because of plasma membrane. They have a very flexible plasma membrane that helps them to engulf the food from the surrounding. The process is called as endocytosis that you have already studied in class 9th. Now the first process is done, which is ingestion. Second, the food is taken inside the food vacuole. In the food vacuole, there is lots of digestive enzyme. बहुत सारे डाइजेस्टिव एंजाइम्स होते हैं फूड वैक्यूल के अंदर जो डाइजेशन में मदद करते हैं. सो सेकंड स्टेप इज डाइजेशन. डाइजेशन जब होता है तो खाने की जो कॉम्प्लेक्स मॉलिक्यूल्स थे जैसे कि कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, ये सब सिंपल कॉम्पोनेंट यानी कि ग्लूकोज, प्रोटीन्स, अमीनो एसिड्स सिंपल कॉम्पोनेंट्स में टूट जाते हैं. थर्ड इज एब्जॉर्प्शन, मतलब खाना एब्जॉर्ब होता है. फोर्थ इज एसिमिलेशन, अब जो खाना है उससे आपका सेल ग्रो करता है, रिपेयर करता है, एसिमिलेट करता है, यूज करता है. देन egestion. Egestion का मतलब है that the undigested food is removed out through the body. Here the contractile vacuole removes the undigested product. Similarly, the paramecium is also a unicellular eukaryote. They also shows holozoic nutrition. Here the ingestion of food is done with the help of cilia. Let's begin with the nutrition in human beings. Human beings shows holozoic nutrition. We have a very well developed digestive system. It consists of alimentary canals and lots of glands. And they also have enzymes. What are enzymes? Enzymes are the biocatalyst. They break the complex molecule into simpler components without undergoing any reaction. Okay, let's see what are the main organs found in the digestive system. It comprises of mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, anus. The main glands are salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, pancreas, and intestinal glands. Let's begin with the first process, that is ingestion. In the mouth, the ingestion starts. That means the intake of food is taking place in the mouth. Here your teeth helps the food to breaks into simpler component. Then it mixes with the saliva. Saliva is secreted from salivary gland. Saliva contains enzyme called salivary amylase, which acts on starch of food and it's break into sugar. The sugar is the maltose sugar. Then the food passes through the esophagus and enters the stomach. Well, the esophagus, that is commonly called as food pipe, here there is no digestion occur. That means there is no enzymes also present. But the muscles or the wall of esophagus, they helps to show rhythmic contraction and relaxation of muscles. This movement is called as peristalsis or peristaltic movement. Now the second step, digestion, starts. In the stomach, the wall of the stomach comprises of gastric glands. These gastric glands secrete gastric juices. The gastric juices contain pepsin enzyme, hydrochloric acid, and mucus. Let's start with hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid, it makes the medium acidic so that the pepsin enzyme can act. Pepsin enzyme will act only under the acidic condition. Second, it also kills the pathogen that comes along with the food. B is the pepsin. Pepsin is an enzyme which is proteinaceous in nature. It breaks the proteins into simple proteins or the peptones. So here you can see the reaction, proteins where the pepsin acts and is forming simpler proteins under low pH or acidic condition. Now the mucus. Mucus protects the wall of lining of stomach from the corrosive action of hydrochloric acid. Then the food passes into the small intestine. Now in the upper part of the small intestine, which is called duodenum, now the food has reached the small intestine duodenum part. Here it will receive the secretion from two glands. Your liver will secrete bile juice which is stored in the gallbladder, and then it will be released. Bile breaks down the fat into small fat globs. So, small intestine is the site of complete digestion of food. That means here the carbohydrates breaks into glucose, proteins to amino acids, fats to fatty acids, and glycerol. Well, let's see. It is also longest part of alimentary canal that have extensive coiling. The length of the small intestines also differs. In herbivores, they have longer small intestine to digest so that they can digest the cellulose. Cellulose takes time to digest. Carnivores, they have a very shorter small intestine as its meat is easier to digest as compared to the cellulose. Well, the small intestine receives the secretion from two glands, as I told you earlier. Liver is the largest gland that secretes bile juice, which is stored in the gallbladder. The function of bile juice, number one, it makes the medium alkaline or basic so that the pancreatic enzymes can act. You know the food is coming from the stomach and it is a bit acidic. So it is making them alkaline. Second, it helps in emulsification of fat. That means the large fat globule is broken down into the small fat globules so that the enzymes can act properly. Which enzymes? Pancreatic enzyme, to facilitate the pancreatic enzymes action. So this is about the small intestine. Okay, so liver is the largest gland, remember. Now we are moving to the next part, which is the pancreas. Pancreas is the second largest gland of your body. Now it is also secreting. Once the bile juice has done the work, now it will secrete the pancreatic juices which contains enzyme like क्या क्या enzymes हैं? They love basic pH first. Okay. So number one, trypsin. Trypsin will act on the proteins and it will break them further into the amino acids. Emulsified fat, which is already the small globules of fat. Now the lipase enzyme is there which act on emulsified fat and it will break into fatty acids and glycerol. Then they also have pancreatic amylase that acts on the starch which to the sugars. Now the glands are also found on this wall of small intestine. They also produces various types of intestinal juices also. So these intestinal juices, they will convert the carbohydrates into glucose, fats into fatty acids and glycerol, proteins into amino acids. So only the simpler conversions is done. Then comes the fourth part, that is absorption, which is done by the villi. You all know that the villi are found in the small intestine. They have several finger-like projections, right? They increases the surface area so that the absorption of food can occur. They are richly supplied with the blood vessels. Fifth is the assimilation. The digested food is absorbed by the blood and transported to the various cells of your body for the growth, for the repairment. Sixth is the egestion, where the removal of unwanted, undigested waste from the body is taking place. The undigested food is passed through the large intestine. They also have villi so that they can absorb maximum amount of water, and then they removed it through the rectum, then anus, and it is regulated by the anal sphincter muscles. So this is all about human digestion. Okay, so please just revise it one more time. Thank you everyone. Do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.